Hello again friends, it is Carly from the Poetry of Nice, and today I have my second part of my 8-part series, all to do with the things I wish I had known before I started reselling online. If you missed my first video, I will go ahead and link it right here so that you can go back and check it out and see what my first tip was regarding this series and things I wish I had known. And of course, if you're new, welcome. This is a channel all about reselling online. I currently sell on Poshmark, eBay and Etsy, and I sell everything from vintage hard goods, vintage clothing, modern day clothing and all kinds of cool stuff in between as well, all to make a part-time income for my family while I stay home and raise my 3 boys who are 5 and under. If that sounds interesting to you, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button, come back and hang out some more. I have haul videos, sale videos, how-tos, tutorials and all kinds of tips that I like to share. And we have an amazing community going on down in the comments, so we would love to have you be a part of it as well. Alright you guys, so my next tip, this is video number 2 in the 8-part series. My next tip is going to be about quality control. This was such a huge thing for me when I first started out reselling, and it's probably the area, other than like buying duds, things that didn't sell very well, that I have made the most mistakes with as a reseller. The first thing that I will say when it comes to quality control, and when I'm talking about quality control, I'm talking about the inventory that you purchase. The majority of inventory I purchase, it may be different for you if you do retail arbitrage or you find a lot more newer goods, wholesale and stuff, but for me, I buy a lot of stuff from rummage sales, yard sales, thrift stores sometimes, and that means that the items that I buy are usually used goods. With used goods comes flaws. You never really know why somebody donated things, and very often I could buy something at a yard sale or a thrift store. I could have looked it over the best that I thought that I could, and when I get it home and I get it under a light for photography, or I just get it in natural light, sometimes those thrift stores, their lighting is not always amazing, so we miss things all the time. God forbid, the worst time to find a flaw is when you are taking out an item to package it to send to a buyer, somebody who has already purchased the item. That is literally the worst reseller feeling I think in the world. So I've got some practices that I'm going to share with you today that I have put in place that have helped me reduce the amount of times that I find flaws later on in the game with things that I have purchased. This is important because that is less wasted money up front, less loss for my business, because I won't be able to sell things that have major flaws that I have missed before I purchased them. And it also means that I get to give better customer service because I'm not sending out items that I missed, you know, stains or rips or holes or smells or anything like that on. I'm able to kind of control that process just a little bit more upfront. So first of all, I'm going to talk to you about how I check. I actually have something in place that I refer to as the 3 Ps, and this is where along the line of dealing with my item, sort of the lifespan of my item, that I will do a full quality control check. The 3 Ps that I'm talking about stand for purchase, prep, and posted. These are the stages when I really take my item into a different lighting setting. So that's usually natural light. I'm talking by a window or outside or something like that, and I will give it a full once over. So when I purchase the item, before I purchase the item, this is what I do. I find a spot either in the store or if we're outside where it's quiet, I can focus, and I give this item a good look over. When it's a garment, that means that I'm running my hands on all the seams. I'm looking underneath for any like stains or rips, any pulls or stretch, any signs of strain really. So down all the seams, down the shoulders, down the arms, lifting the arms. I'm also looking like around the inside of the collar here for potential like makeup if somebody has tried it on who was wearing a foundation or something. Oftentimes you can get a makeup ring right here around the neckline that sometimes you miss if you're not looking so closely. So once I've done that, I will move on to photographing the item. This is where the second P, the prep stage, comes in for me. So I'm preparing my item. When I am photographing a garment or even a hard good, shoes, anything like that, I have it under like either natural light or like an overhead light that's much brighter. I don't personally use a lighting kit, but it is a situation where it is a lot brighter and a lot easier to see. And obviously when my clothing is either hanging or in a dress form, I'm able to see as pressure is put in different places if there are any like small holes or any stains or anything like that just kind of popping up out to me rather than just holding it up flat. So this is the second stage where I am once again doing that exact same check all over. I'm checking my seams, I'm checking front and back, I'm checking the inside of collars and sleeves, I'm checking hems to make sure that there isn't loose stitching or that the hem has come loose and it is hanging, all that kind of stuff all over again for the second time. Part of the prep stage as well is taking measurements. That is yet another opportunity to potentially catch something that I may have missed in the previous two stages. I'm always keeping my eyes open and always making sure that I'm not noticing like an excessive amount of washwear or any stains or holes that I may have missed. It's so important to get up close and personal with these garments when we're reselling them. If they're pre-owned or even sometimes if they're new with tags, there is a reason that people may have donated them. And to me, it's just really important to feel like I've had hands on that item several times so I can feel confident when I'm describing my item as having no flaws and sending it out to a buyer that it's something that I can really stand behind the quality and the condition. So after all is said and done, the item is photographed, it's measured, it has been listed, it's folded up, it's tucked away in inventory. By the way, I keep all of my items in totes up off the floor so no moisture can get to them. They are plastic totes and each individual item is kept inside of a plastic Ziploc bag. I do reuse those because I'm not keen on excessive waste. And that also allows me to letter and number them to have a more efficient inventory system when it comes to pulling items that have sold at the end of the day. And that's also a protective measure for my items, making sure that they don't come into contact with other stuff while they're in storage. And the third P in my quality control process is postage. So to me that means when I pull out my item and I'm getting ready to either wrap it in tissue paper on Poshmark or simply slide it into a poly mailer on eBay or Etsy, I am once again taking the time to overlook that item. There's a reason for that. First of all, it is gut-wrenching when you find a flaw on an item and it's already sold, because that's a conversation no reseller wants to have with the buyer, and on eBay it can mean a defect. However, it gives you the power as a reseller to be proactive. Man, there's a lot of P's in this video. I'm sorry. It gives you the power as a reseller to be proactive in terms of how you can apply customer service to an issue like finding an item that has a flaw that you previously missed. I personally would reach out to my buyer before printing my shipping label and packaging it up and shipping it off, and I would let them know that the item, I discovered something that I missed it. I am so incredibly sorry. I don't want them to have an unpleasant surprise on their side of things. So I'm letting them know that there's this issue and I'm giving them the option. Would they like to cancel the order or would they like to continue with it and have a maybe 50% discount? What this does on eBay is it allows you to use buyer chose to cancel order as a reason for cancelling it and therefore avoiding a ding or a defect, whatever you want to call it. But it's also giving the buyer power. If they really did want that item, I'm happy to sell it to them at like a half price discount. Therefore they can see if they can get the stain out, or perhaps they can stitch something up that's like a small flaw. It's still giving them the choice about the item that they chose to purchase. And if they just choose to cancel it, that's absolutely fine as well. Extremely apologetic when that happens, and I often will offer them the opportunity to choose something else from my store at a discount as well, just to make up for the inconvenience that happened. And that pretty much rounds up the part 2 of my 8-part series of things that I wish I had known about reselling before I started selling online. If this video is interesting to you, I would love it if you would give a thumbs up, and I would love it if you would hit subscribe and come hang out some more. I will be doing 6 more videos in this series sharing tips and tricks and things that I have learned as a more experienced, more seasoned reseller that I wish I had known right back at the beginning when I first started. And I would love to have you come back and check out some more of those videos and some more content that I put out on this reselling channel every other day. All right, you guys, I will talk to you soon. Have a wonderful week. Bye.